there are some tough decisions that need to be made at Arsenal. And to be fair, there was even tough decisions that was needed to be made today. Saudi Arabia wanting to come in today because their transfer window is still open and take one of our key players. We're going to speak about it because I definitely want to get your guys' opinions on it. But there's also some tough decisions that Arsenal and Arteta need to make going forward because it can really affect how our season can play out. Like I said, I want to get everyone's thoughts and opinions on it. Before we get into it though, just very quickly, do me a favour. Just hit like on this video. So the first place we're going to start quickly is the Trossard. Like, Saudi Arabia tried to buy Leandro Trossard. I saw the news this morning and I was thinking, no way. And then the transfer fee coming, it was about 35 million euros. And I was thinking, there is no chance Al Ittihad is going to buy Leandro Trossard for 35 million euros. But this was before the bid was rejected. So I was kind of thinking like I certainly wouldn't make the deal. But I was kind of hoping, I hope PSR, like Arsenal aren't in trouble with them because they would be forced to make this deal happen. But luckily, the bid came back rejected. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to speak on it yet. Let me know your guys' opinions on when you heard this Trossard news. Was you getting a bit nervous? I've even seen some foolishness out there of people saying, like a small minority, I might add, of people saying we should have sold Leandro Trossard, tried to get a little bit more money out of him, maybe got it up to 45, 50 mil because the player's getting older. I couldn't believe when I read that online. I mean, like, let me know your guys' thoughts. I think I know what you're going to say. Rubbish. We can't sell Leandro Trossard. But maybe, like I said, on this channel, I don't mind if people have a difference of opinion. So let me know your guys' opinions on this Leandro Trossard deal. Would you have done it for about 45, 50 million? Or are you like me thinking there is no way we can afford to lose another attacker in this transfer window? Let me know. So the next thing that we need to consider, like the decision that needs to be made, it's come out today that Man City are going to be pulling Phil Foden from the England squad. I think Arteta has to make the same decision. Bukayo Saka has played too much football to be going on this international break. There's always Man City players being withdrawn from international friendlies, and it does help them in the season. Like, there's a reason they do it, because it benefits them during the season. I think Arsenal need to start taking the same approach. We've seen it with managers in years gone by. Alex Ferguson, I'm sure Arsene Wenger used to do it at points. Like, it's just something you have to do in meaningless games, and I know they're qualifiers or whatever, but we need Saka and Rice. I can see kind of maybe Rice will go because he's going to miss that Tottenham game. But for me, I'm looking at Bukayo Saka. And yes, we've got Sterling now. I know that's another guy to come in and fill in for Saka, but I would still not be letting Bukayo Saka go to that international friendly. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Like, what did you think when you heard that Man City have pulled Phil Foden from the squad? To me, it was just like, this is classic Guardiola. He does it every year. There's always an illness with a De Bruyne or a Haaland or a Phil Foden. Like, it's something that Arsenal need to start doing more often. Like, there's a bit of conspiracy theories out there of people saying this is what he's doing with Mikel Merino. Like, he's not actually got a shoulder injury. He just doesn't want him to go on them Spain internationals. If that's the case, and that Spurs game comes and Mikel Merino was on the pitch, that would be an absolute masterstroke by Mikel Arteta. I don't think that's the case. But we need to start doing it with players like Bukayo Saka. Like I said, a player who plays so much football. Like, he doesn't miss a game for England. He doesn't miss a game for Arsenal. Like, we need to protect this player from himself because he will play absolutely every game and he'll put 100% when he's playing. So I think Arteta does need to look at it and be a bit clever here and say, Saka, you got a bit of a cold coming on. Why don't we just keep you at home for a couple of weeks and work on him? Like, the benefit we've got with this international break, I guess we've obviously got a couple of weeks off, but this is the perfect time for Mikel Arteta to work with Raheem Sterling, and it would be brilliant if we could get Bukayo Saka in on them sessions. And you might be thinking, well, it's not related, but it is. We just need to get fluidity between all of those forward players because we know that most of those forward players are interchangeable. Like, they can play in a variety of positions. So if you have Saka in the session and Sterling in the session and Havertz, I don't know, even I must have got called up for Germany, but do you know what I mean? Just get as many players as we can in on those sessions and get Sterling up to speed because we're going to need him as soon as the Premier League season continues in a couple of weeks when the internationals are finished. So the more time we can spend on the training ground with more first-team players, it will benefit this team massively. And that's why I want to see Mikel Arteta make the decision to pull Bukayo Saka from that international friendly. I was concerned as well because I saw that we're going to speak about, we got another issue that we need to speak about as well, but Thomas Partey, he's gone to the AFCON qualifiers apparently, and I saw the picture and I was thinking, no, we cannot have another injury in that midfield. We are threadbare in that midfield. In the next game, we're gonna be missing Declan Rice and Mikel Merino. Those are two hugely, in terms of Merino, will be influential players. Declan Rice certainly. You know, if we lost Rice and we had Merino to come in, it would be probably still a slight drop off because Merino would still be getting used to the system. But the fact we're missing both of them, you know, it is damaging. I guess the only kind of relief we're going to have is I don't think Spurs are that good this season. And I know that's famous last words, touch wood and all that, but I don't think Spurs are anywhere near the level of Arsenal. Of course, anything can happen. Of course, they're still a decent side. They're fairly well managed and they got some good players. But I still do think we need our best team available. And this is another question that I want to pose to you guys. Like, this is a decision we have to make. What midfield do we go for in that Spurs game? Because there's like so many rotations or variations that you can go for. Do you go with Thomas Partey at 6 and then Jorginho at 8 maybe with Odegaard in centre attacking mid? We're going to see we're going to have to see how Odegaard's feeling as well. There's those pictures kind of circulating and the video circulating social media where, you know, Odegaard come off in that game, the last game against Brighton, and he was injured. Like, he had his sock down and he was nursing an injury. Like, we need to hope that's not too much of a concern, because if we've got no Declan Rice, no Odegaard, no Merino, then that midfield is going to be so unbalanced against Tottenham. I hope the injury to Martin Odegaard is just kind of like an initial knock. You know, you get like a bruising for a week or two. But we have to hope it's that with Martin Odegaard. If there's kind of ligament damage or anything deeper than maybe kind of like a bruising, then we are in big, big trouble. Would you go in this Spurs game? Like, my opinion kind of might be, is this a game to play Ethan Nwaneri in? I don't know. Like, I would have to see him in training and see how he performs against other players that are fighting for those positions, in all honesty. I think Thomas Partey will be 100% playing. And let me know, because maybe some of you guys would go for not Trossard, for Jorginho in that position. For me, I just think we need the stability of Thomas Partey. I know he struggled in the last game in the second half, but I've made a video in saying, like, I thought his first half was very good in terms of clearing up, in terms of winning those battles. I thought he was good in the duel, those challenges he was winning. Like, he swept up really well in front of the back four, I thought, in the Brighton game in the first half. I think he definitely tailed off in the second half. But for that first half, I was thinking, if we can get this Thomas Partey over a consistent run of games, I think it would improve our midfield massively. So for the midfield, like I said, there's so many variations. Would you drop Havertz into that number 8 position and maybe push Trossard up top, and then you'd have a Partey, Havertz and Odegaard midfield 3? That probably would be strong enough to beat Tottenham. If we was going up against a Liverpool or a Man City, that midfield of Partey, Havertz and Odegaard would probably concern me. I'd be thinking we need 2 more combative players in there just to try and balance it out, to hold the fort slightly more. But in a game against Tottenham, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me if we play Partey, Havertz and Odegaard and then play either Martinelli and Sterling on the wing. It would probably be Martinelli to start, and then you bring Sterling on, and then you could even play Trossard up front, Saka on the right. That would probably be the one I go for, if I'm being honest. If you told me what one, thinking now, what midfield 3 would I go for, it would be Partey, Havertz, Odegaard, and then I'd go Martinelli, Trossard and Saka. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because it is definitely an interesting and pretty difficult decision that Arsenal will have to make. Not only that, we've obviously got the Trossard thing, the Saudi Arabia. Let me know your thoughts on that. We got the Phil Foden being pulled from the England squad. Would you do the same with Saka? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, like I said, just do me a favor. It is absolutely free. Just hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.